reload. Just cut this out here. Boop. Goodbye. Video game. Bye. I don't know what volume I need to actually have this so you can actually hear everything. I don't know. Yo. I'm about to begin a 10-minute rowing session while watching you on my iPad. Can you give me advice for not dying, and also maybe I can make $1 million? Yeah, so to give you advice about not dying, is you got to get on the Go Mad diet. That'll prevent you from dying in these circumstances because you have all the energy you need. If you're not familiar with Go Mad is the gallon of milk a day diet. So if you get on the Go Mad diet, you should be pretty good. And then I'll do that. And then how do you make $1 million? You make $1 million by advertising and selling people on the idea of the Go Mad diet. And now you're set. You become the fitness guru for Go Mad. The demand you send them 5,000 rupees to get your soul back? Maybe. It's like the plot of a Zelda game. Work for Liver King? There you go. Yeah, just sell people on like an extremely dangerous fad diet that has no proven anything. So I'm on my cheat century? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the old cheat century. Big fan of that. I'm gonna turn off my music so I can actually hear the game. I don't know how loud it is, so we're gonna find out. This is the final boss of the raid, by the way. We're just like collecting. We got to it last night. 8:15 starting time. Let's go. Okay. Hopefully, I will be done the raid before you're done rowing. What song? Oh, what was I listening to? I was listening to the song called "Might Not Make It Home" by LPX. It's a pretty good song. Why not try putting things down on the ground to mix it up? No. Is there a list of chat commands? No, you just gotta know them. It's all up here. Keep it all upstairs. I could make a list of chat commands. The problem is that, so under the bot, I'm just gonna look it up. Under commands, there's 7 pages, and for whatever reason, the bot does not have an export, so I can't just export all the commands to an easy-to-read list, which is the most frustrating, dumb nonsense I've ever seen. But I probably could make a list of commands if I wanted to. Yeah, also, who throws cat piss? Some command? No. No. There is no help here. You need help? Trust me, you're not getting it. That's what we say. I probably could do it. It wouldn't be that hard to get it done. If I could get it to display as a table, it would probably be not that bad to copy it out. Well, also, like, a lot of the commands are like, you know, the death commands, old builds, the UI. Please and help. What else do we got? We got the oh, the 6-con life rule set. Oh, there's facts. Look at that. Yeah. Some streamers have it so that the bots can automatically accept commands from people so they can make new commands or quotes, which is not a terrible idea. It's a really terrible idea. It's a really bad idea. I'm just looking at all of them. But yeah, a lot of them was for like Dungeons and Developer Insights that we did, like ! Demon Within. I don't know what this is. Oh, I know what that is. That command has been disabled. For those of you that didn't see it, this was, oh, look at the beautiful art, man. This was the Epic Destiny that Linnabelle and I put together for, it's one of the new Epic Destinies with the new design. And it was meant to be an Epic Destiny that is focused on, like, melee, tank, and damage sort of thing. So you get DR, melee range power, as well as alignment, piercing, bludgeoning, slashing, and universal spell power. So it's not force damage, it's piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing spell damage. Demonic traits and stuff. Your Epic Strike, you desecrate the ground, so it's like Consecrate, but it's Desecrate instead, which is kind of cool. You can get Threat Generation, Double Strike. Your Death Strike causes Shavrath Blades, that was cool. Your Cleave and Great Cleave become Demonic Chains, so you get chains. So your Cleave and Great Cleave become chain attacks, but they cost you health. This tree was sick. Marlith Plating, so you get hit, you get a damage if you're in medium armor, and you get tank if you're in heavy armor. The Demonic Mantle. Oh yeah, the Mantle makes your, gives you a presence based on what's in your offhand. Oh, I forgot about this. Dude, this tree is so fucking cool, man. Oh my god, this one's so cool. Oh, man. I forgot about this. Ultimate Hatred. You gain +1 physical resistance and damage and physical resistance per stack of Malice. Malice is from the Epic Strike. Crit multi. For undown 20, if you're a single or 2-weapon fighting or have a shield equipped, for each 3 total toughness or epic toughness feats you have, minimum of 1. I forgot. Gives you extra damage based on toughness. Shavrath Minion. Open a portal to the battleground Shavrath, which allows its denizens to enter your world, so just summons a bunch of demons. The effect is really good. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Your evil and chaos spells have a % chance to instantly kill an enemy by banishing it to Shavrath per epic toughness feat. I forgot its skills. It's the tree that scales off toughness for damage. Spirit blades now leave a whirling blade of Shavrath behind when they strike an enemy. Dude, this whole tree is amazing. I forgot how amazing this tree is. Oh, you can summon a Blade of Shavrath pet. Meta Magic. Your spells now deal evil type damage rather than the normal damage types and cost 1% HP per cast. Balance pending. Damn, dude. What a great idea. This is fun. This is fun. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of them. If you ever go through the Dungeon Developer Insights thing on my on the old YouTube channel. Check it out. Can't hit and damage be balanced if it only applied to throwing hammers. In the world where throwing hammers are bad, sure. If throwing hammers ever get moderately competitive statting, no, it would be unbalanced. The only time I thought con to hit and damage was good is it needs to be really niche and circumstantial. A dust storm is going? Yeah, it's a thunderstorm over here. Haboob. Fun word. It's a dust. One of the ideas that we had was for the Oak Heart tree, which is a universal enhancement tree. It would be while using a wooden shield, you get while using a wooden shield, you can get constitution hit and damage on your shield only, not the main hand weapon. So it would be good for, like, because it's a pseudo tank tree, it would mean that tanks who had offhand shield bash chance would get a little bit of extra free damage, which then would help them with threat, but wouldn't be able to effectively contribute to the main majority of your damage because you wouldn't get it on your main hand weapon, which means it wouldn't be as good for actual DPS characters. Sentinel, the cleave one, use con to hit and damage to that attack would be great. That'd be cool. I agree. That would also be very cool. All right, tank time. I'm going to do my best to explain this boss as we go through it. When we get to the end of it, though, I will not be able to explain it because I'm going to be focusing on the boss fight. When it gets to 20%, I'll basically just be doing the boss. The boss is this crystal, by the way. Do you lack accuracy to even land it? Yep. Honestly, shouldn't even be an attack. Should just be a spell. Or do something like gives you plus 99 to hit. Oh yeah, isn't there an ability that already does that? That's a great suggestion. They made it so the big tremor, the big tier 5 Fear of the Wild does that. Yeah, they did that. I remember that. Oh no, not that type of hoe card. No, 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 not that type of hoe card. Grabbing the boss. Okay, taking it back. Okay, got him back. Got it back. That was good. Yeah. Nice, we hit the lowest one yet. Corruption, back up. So basically, the way this boss works is it has a soften rage, which is this rain of splinters, which just is damage that goes up constantly throughout the fight, and it hits everyone in the entire raid. So there's no way to prevent it. It just continues to go up, and so eventually it gets too much that you can't heal it anymore. You can't heal through it. At 50%, the boss is going to summon a set of ads. These gargoyles come down from the walls, and we have to fight them. And at 20%, the boss is going to summon the last boss, boss 3, is going to get up, and we have to fight boss 3 at the same time. Now, the reason why this gets complicated is because this crystal has a distributed attack, so you need to always have people around the crystal, no matter what is actually happening in the raid. So it gets complicated actually managing all of this. Pulling the crystal. Move it over here. It also drops this, like, defiled ground or whatever, which is really annoying to deal with. So, because you take a huge, it's 40% of your health every 2 seconds while you're standing in it. That's this, like, square here. And so you have to make sure you're not standing in that under any circumstance. And it lasts a while. It doesn't go away quickly. You also have to deal with, like, it's going to be constantly dropping this defiled ground on the ground, and you don't want to be taking extra damage from that. Okay, he's got the gargoyles are down because he's at 50, so the gargoyles are in the distance. We also move over there because the gargoyles spawn on the platform. And so we get everyone to move so the Guardian can pick up all the gargoyles. Somebody is next to the boss. They need to melee and needs to move. Oh, keep everything together? Oh, sorry, you'll have to take the boss back then. I bet. Oh, I'm fine. Okay, we've changed the strategy. Apparently we're tanking the crystal with the ads now, which I did not know. The crystal is knocked back, watch out. So the crystal has a knockback. The reason why the knockback is also dangerous, it gets to 40% health. The knockback is really dangerous. Grabbing the boss and returning it. Okay. That does actually get us through the fight a little bit sooner, so we're through here. But it has a knockback. The knockback's really dangerous because there's lava all over the room. If you get knocked into the lava, that's death. And make sure you don't get knocked into lava. Just one. Okay. Okay, I got it back. Get in position. Okay, we're doing all right. At 20%, he's going to summon the other ads. I'm going to have to move this really soon. Our damage is, like, kind of low today. I don't know. I really don't want to blow a cooldown here, but, like, I can't get out of this. Okay, gonna take it. Okay, that was good. I'm gonna grab a Clag Horde. This is the boss we have to fight next. He's in front of the boss. Okay, we're good. Blood boils out. Blood boil and shroom. So at this point, we just have to kill this boss as fast as possible. Our damage is pretty slow because we have like a bunch of DPS dead right now, which is not good. We don't want to have our DPS being dead right now. Wipe there. It's kind of hard to explain what happened. Basically, we had too many DPS die, and then with the DPS dead, we couldn't get it down, and etc, etc, etc. Ochre tree used to be, yeah. So giving it too much accuracy means DPS might start taking and causing problems in raids. Well, only if it's useful to DPS, right? That's why they have upgrades for everything.
Really stretching it, still hanging on to trying to call yourself adventurers after there's no more Sauron's order in Spain to fight.
Endurance made to fight. Look, it's like they're playing, right? You know, when you're a kid, you have to like play pretend. So you're at the playground and you pretend like the big boss or like the bad guy is the rock because you're playing pretend or something. It's exactly like this. We're out of ideas and we're just playing pretend. No joke, it's tougher than your dad's crystal. It is tougher than your dad's crystal, it is. I don't know if you can see why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No, but it is allowed to go into the salty spittoon. How tough it is. Also, if you want to track your heart rate, there's actually a better way than using a Fitbit. Just get some like a cathode and an anode, and just run them down your esophagus and around the insides to get to the heart, and just stick it right on the heart. And just measure the electrical current coming through the heart. It's faster. Get a more accurate reading. The one thing I will say about this fight is it's very fast. So every time you die, you get to like reset again and again and again, which is nice. Well, I don't like, well, not the whole like dying part. Like that part sucks, but yeah. The fact that it is fast is nice. I'm gonna be trying this again. Ah, the old Fitbit. I don't have a Fitbit. I'm lazy. And also, I don't like the idea of being tracked in terms of what I'm doing for like my physical exercise, because I'm just gonna be disappointed in myself when I never measure up to what I want. Right, grabbing it. Got it. We got 5184. It's actually really good. We're doing super good on this boss fight so far. Our openings have been very good this time. You basically, the boss does 10,000 damage per tick, but if you apply enough debuffs, you can reduce their damage by half, so that it actually does like half of the damage it's supposed to, which is really nice if you can get that. Watch the corruption. On, you're in the corruption. Over here. You gotta watch the puddles in this fight. Again, red-green colorblind, kind of hard for me to see them, so I just like, but I try. Taking boss, moving it over. So I try to call it if I see other people, but I even find it difficult for me to like see it myself, to be honest. There was a bug when this first released where the boss would attack you at like this range. So what would happen is that the boss would spawn, and you could just stay outside of its range, and it would never move. It would just like if you attack it at max range, it will just stay and keep dropping things underneath it. So they actually had to recode it so the boss constantly tries to shift directly on top of your position. That way you can't just like avoid all of this. Can't see. Okay. Am I pinned? Why can't I do anything? Strim bug. I think I got pinned, but I resisted it, so nothing happened. Boss. These Druzogs have so many hit points. Oh god, this fight is not going well, let's just say that. Where's the crystal? Grab the boss. Cease and desist. Bit of a problem. Okay, got 20 seconds on the raise. So we're basically just shoving it down to 20%. We're at 30% right now. I use this as my percent tracker, and this is the actual health bar. I just like seeing the health bars in video games more than percentages, if I'm being honest. I don't know, I find it fun. And so, I'm gonna look at both of them. Okay, grabbing the boss. Really hopeful that we're gonna be able to kill this sooner rather than later. Can't see anything right now. Just like stuck in this corner. Okay, take it. Back. I'm back. Fuck. Good. He's dead. Another dead. Oh my god. We lost too many DPS. It is a wipe again. Unless we can manage to get this down even faster. I don't know how we're going to do that. Who knows? Anything is possible. Yep. 2 stacks. I have so much shit dealing extra damage to me. This is not good. For a reason I don't understand, though, he's not actually applying his debuff, which is nice. Very kind of him. And that's game over. We just gotta get it so that more people are alive and less people are dead. Alright. Ooh. It's okay. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. It's all about practice, you know? It's all about just getting some details nailed down. Does DD look so much better than LOTRO? I don't think it looks better. I think it depends on what you're looking at. Admittedly, for whatever reason, and I have no idea why this is, I actually have to turn the graphics down on this video game when I am streaming it, and I have no idea why. Only when I'm streaming. So the textures are not as high as they normally would be. So like, for example, as opposed to putting stuff on like ultra high, I don't have a lot of things turned up and maxed out. So I don't have any of the shadows turned on. I find for whatever reason, this game, I just chug this game. Which is really funny because, like I said, I can stream really high fidelity games, like brand new video games on max settings, but Lord of the Rings Online, I find it just for some reason. But I don't know if it's the way they push the effect system through the client or something else, it just really doesn't like it. And it's not like my computer is struggling really hard to render this video game. It's not. My graphics card is not even being used. So, not being used at all, but like, you know, it's just the, you know, the nature of this style of video game, because it's older, it can't utilize better hardware. And so you run out of your megapixels per gallon. So that's probably it. Like, a lot of the stuff I have, like, turned down. So, like, this graphic asset normally looks a lot better, but I don't have, like, the processing effects that make this look all pretty. Sadly. Yeah, the shattering strike's going to happen based on positioning. So when I grab Clag, I'm basically just going to pull him to like this spot right here on the carpet. So that way no one, you guys have full reign of the middle to drop blood boils and do whatever, and I can just use this sunk section of pillar. But if you're standing in this area, right where I'm standing right now, you're going to get hit by the frontal. Yeah. Did I do what I was supposed to do? Did I eat my food? Trail food. Fortifying food. Snack. Meal. Okay, we're good. We're gonna smash out this boss, baby! Yeah, also, the other issue with this fight is there's a lot of RNG, I find. Like, there's just a ton of RNG in the way that this fight is designed. There's, like, so many small, just little elements of, like, you know, you can fail because of this reason, you can fail because of this reason. Especially in the end bit where there's 3 bosses at the same time and their timers can start to go really out of whack. Like, for example, in that fight that we just had there, for some reason I only was at 2 stacks of the debuff before the end of it, because the boss just, its AI was like, no, I do not want to use this specific attack on you. And I was like, okay, sounds good, video game, good. Sometimes it just happens. Odds. Right, grabbing the boss. This. Got it. Okay, we're good. Getting a game increase soon. Can't wait to try LOTRO. Yeah, like I said, this game. So here's basically the issue with Lord of the Rings Online, is that yeah, my CPU is at 14%. There's nothing I can do to make this actually use my system. Lord of the Rings Online is an older video game, and to my knowledge, it can't do multi-threading. So it's basically based off of your single core. like the power of a single core in your processor. So if you're actually trying to process all the things that are happening in the game, it's all just single core processing power, which is obviously not ideal. But that admittedly is an issue that DDO also has. There's just fewer effects in Dungeons and Dragons Online in comparison to this game, which is kind of funny. Waiting. Taking boss. Hello, boss. But yeah, like I said, this game is also, again, not too difficult to run. Also, for solo play as well, I also have no issues. It's pretty much just in the raid environment. There's too many effects that are being processed by the game, and it's very difficult for the game to actually keep up with everything that's happening in it. They definitely need to do some work on the actual effect system. They've done like small amounts of work here and there on it. But yeah. It's delightfully masochistic. Yeah. Because like the game itself isn't laggy, so it's not like the game is lagging. It's oh god, I can't see anything. Nothing. I know you can't see anything that's happening here, but don't worry about it. Oh god. Taking so much damage. I hate this spot. Huh? Oh, it turns off my defensive. Okay, that's why I'm taking so much damage. Challenging, and we're good. Bruzog dead. Kill this bad boy. Get him out of here. Has his laggy moments. Oh yeah, the game lags. Don't let me try to pawn you into thinking the game doesn't lag at all. That is not true. Yeah, that would be a lie. Okay, taking boss. Can I move back a little bit? Oh, I can, baby. Yeah. Good. You can't see anything, and you're not gonna be able to see anything until I move out of this area, unfortunately. It's something I don't like about bosses that have knockbacks, and there's a lot of bosses with knockbacks in this game. Is that like you just can't? You have to have your back against the wall like all the time. It's very annoying. Okay, he's got it. Taking flag. Get off the boss, please. We're good. No one died. Debuffing him so he takes more damage. Taunt again so I can hold aggro on this thing. Remove my own wound. Oh, we should be good. Okay, everything is going as planned. Oh, my DPS. Hit this guy. Do multiple millions of damage per second. We're at 4 million DPS. There's a raid. It's alright. Put that on for this buff. We're over 4 million, so be dead in eruptions. He's dead? What do you want me to take? Okay. He's coming. spread out, you guys. Just follow if you want to trade. Okay, taking. Okay, go. I think we're good. We traded. Just killing the boss now, so everything should be fine. Go, DPS, get them. Everything should be fine. Okay, I think we're in the clear now. I think this is good. It's pretty much the hard transition of that fight. Okay, we're good. Woo! And I can hold this boss literally forever, so it's not a big deal. They can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. As long as I don't get, like, they don't stop healing me, I'll be okay. Okay. I got her. Oh shit, okay, that's bad. Corruption. He's almost dead. I really hope we don't die here. Dead? Okay. Yep. Yep. Should be okay. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. So many people are dead. We have 3 DPS down. Okay, good. All you have to do is just beat everything else. Just have to beat the timer. We have 200 million damage to do with 2 people doing it. Go, team, go! Stream does not, it just came off. Yeah, I'm fine. Taking boss. We should be okay. This is it. Woo! I moved to Canada to get access to US game servers and lower paying. Yep. Yeah, if depending on your you just pick your coast. So whether it's East Coast or West Coast, that's pretty much it. You just pick your coast that you're on and then play on those servers. No big deal. Also, this fight's over. Yay. The problem is we only had 1 healer for a good chunk of that, and they just went crazy. They just pumped out the heals. They did a really good job. We're all set. Nice. That feels great. Getting a kill down. Killing the boss. Beating the raid. Yeah, where's it going? Don't get knocked in the lava. Watch your position. Oh god, if I didn't call that out, the number of people that would have gone straight to the side. Woo! I'm a hero, baby. I'm a hero! Let's go. That was a 10-minute, 35-second fight? Damn. Yeah, that last bit, if no one had died there, that would have been way faster. But it, like I said, there's a lot of, like, the positioning is really screwy in that section. Because basically, what happens when it gets to 20%, the third boss is 2 bosses. It's Horde and Asachal, and it's like, so it's these two boss fight, and then you have to do the mechanics. His fourth phase is he just summons both of them at the same time. You have to do all their mechanics and the new boss mechanics, but he's at 20%, so he has all his abilities. So, or the crystal has all the crystal's abilities. It's not a he, but all the abilities. And so, yeah. But yeah, look at that. I did 43 million damage. Got it. Don't worry. All right, what do we got? I got a lump of Karndoon Twisted Silver. Let's go, baby. I got the lump. The lump is what you use to upgrade the necklaces. Sweet. I also got what? Single target attack criticals? Yo, that's sick. It's like one of the best ones you can get. Awesome. Oh, what else did I get? Did I get a necklace? Oh, I didn't get a necklace. I just got this. Oh, I didn't realize it gives you this instead of a necklace. Oh, good thing I already have one. But I just need to figure out which necklace I upgrade. I don't know if I'm going to do the tank one or if I go for the DPS one. Because the DPS one just gives me more damage. But the tank one gives me more tank sets. Is the tank necklace even good? It's mid. You got a necklace to upgrade? Yeah, I have all my necklaces. So I just don't know which one I'm gonna do. So we'll see. Woo! I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, you got what do we got? There's fiery. So this is the agility DPS one. That's not a big deal. Did somebody get? Yeah, crackling necklace. Yeah. That's the necklace right there. Look at that tactical mastery rating. Ooh. Conspicuous portent of vitality. Wait, somebody got a portent? I didn't know portents drop out of here. Wow. Somebody else got a portent? Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even know portents dropped out of this. Wow. Somebody else got another portent. 2 people got portents? I would love this. It's a clicky. God, that'd be sick. I would love to get a portent. But I can't be too upset. I got the necklace upgrade, so, you know, pretty happy about that. Pretty happy about that. I'll take the necklace upgrade. I'll take it. I will take it. Speaking of taking things, I'm going to take myself to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alright. Back. Ooh! There's a crackling necklace here for sale. Red Minstrel. Frosty the Snowman will be the destroyer. Frosty the Snowman will destroy everything! Yay! beautiful. Please, will I? Oh, I'm sending it over. Thank you. I'd be tempted. I'd be tempted. It's an extra cooldown. I mean, yeah, I also don't have one, but it's pretty good, so. If you are not going to use it, it makes a good cooldown. Damn, dude. I'm cleaning house. I got the necklace. I got the upgrade.
Here is a gift sub as well.
Oh my god. And then JB Metrics with the freaking 14-month resub. Thank you so much for the sub, dude. Hope you're doing well.
I shall attend to it in a trice.
Damn, dude. That's very kind. Also, welcome to Stream Team, the one from Mars. Appreciate the support. You've been a fantastic day. It's very kind of you to sub, and also with the gifted sub. Again, super high generosity. Very, very grateful. And I am glad things are going good. Oh, and I'm playing Red Minstrel. Sick. I have to go to the new zone. Leaguer? No. Karn Doom? Yep. This is good. Yep. Reroll. Wait, did I not hand in this quest? Oh no, I completed it. Yay! Get a thing for doing this. There we go. Oh, is my weekly done? Oh shit. Nice. Okay, I got a bunch of hand-ins. Okay, so where's the necklace? Upgrades? Yeah. Oh, you need 2 lumps of silver? Oh, I'm obliterated. I'm so upset now. Look at those stats, man. Immaculate Karn Doom crackling necklaces. Oh, baby. That's the upgrade? It just drops all the will and gives you crit instead? Oh, man, that's sick. Alright, I just need one more. Which I'll use in a sec. Okay. I'm swapping. I'm going to play Minstrel now. This is the benefit of having multiple characters, is I can raid on multiple builds throughout the week, which is fun. And play multiple different characters. My DPS. Okay. I can't transfer this, I don't think. I have to double check on the gear. We're going to be doing the raid again, because we have some people swapped, so we got to keep the locks. So we're just going to be clearing that boss another time for extra chances at the high level loot. Because some people have multiples of the same class. Now, I don't know exactly why, because I find that very odd. I would never want to have that, but then also when you think about the mechanics of it, the reward is massive, right? If you have like 3, let's say you play like Minstrel's your favorite class. If you have 3 Minstrels, that means you can acquire gear 3 times the rate, because each Minstrel has separate locks, but all the gear in this game is bound to account. So you just have multiples of the same classes, which a lot of people do, and then they'll just spam just that class because they like it. So and they're also, that means they're never locked, so they always have something to play, which is kind of cool. I wouldn't do that because I like having different classes. Okay, so I do have the spot for it, and I don't need the Empower and Combat Power regen, so I can put that on. I just don't happen to have the... just missing the actual necklace here, so I have to go get it. That's fine. I'll be grabbing it in a minute here. Because I've got that. I have the ring. I have the vial. And then that would give me the extra 5,000 will as well, which is a... I believe it's 3-to-1 tactical mastery. Yeah, 3-to-1, so it's like an extra 15,000 tactical mastery, plus mitigation, resistance, evasion, and all that. Plus, it's the necklace, which gives the higher tactical mastery, which is good. I can go get it from the other character. I don't have the essences. Do I have the essences somewhere? I think I have the essences somewhere. Let me find them.
Did you put the rock in the hydraulic press?
Yes. Hydraulic press. Yeah, I'm checking some details. Just checking things, looking for items and stuff. There actually is a program in this game that tracks your items and lets you like see what's on all your characters, which is very convenient. I actually have it installed on the computer. I just never use it. I have no idea why. I always forget to use it. It's up here. Look at items present on your character. Backpack. I believe... Oh yeah, I can look at the items on my other characters and go Frosty the Snowman, and I can see all the items that are in that character's inventory. And I just always forget about that. Okay, so I have 2 essences. But I need a box. Okay. I need to go get a thing. Trove? No, this is the Lord of the Rings Online. There's this, you can get an action bar thing up here called the Titan bar. And it just gives you, like, just nice things about your characters. So you can track different things. So, for example, you can track Vault. And then with the key here. So then you've got this. So you can actually go through your Vault on the different characters. So as long as you have it active, you can track what they've got. So, like, I can track Stream's Vault. This is my Brawler. I can just see the Vault. Because every time you log into it, it shows you the data. Similarly, you can track player info. Player info is great because it tells you your stat caps. So you can see what all of my percentages are really, really easily. It's a great add-on. Huge fan. And then same thing with the inventory. Inventory.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend? What can I do for you?
Okay, so stack up all these and put them in the bank. Stack up all these, put them in the bank. Are these essences? I have livelies. Okay, so I actually have all the essences I need, so I can put my new set together. So I put the new set together because I have all the essences that I need, so I should put the new set together because I have all the essences that I need, so I should put the new set together because I have all the essences that I need, and I'm putting the new set together because I have all the essences that I need. I was leveling a Minstrel between a Minion and an LM. Minstrel is the Archangel of Death singing the choir chorus of destruction upon its foes. The benefit of Minstrel is they get a line called, I don't know if it's still called War Speech or if they changed it. I think it's called like Warrior's Scald mode or something. And basically, it just makes all your everything you do billions of damage. Absolutely fantastic for leveling. Huge fan. I love playing this character. It's so fun to play. That being said, Lore Master, it's also faster to level because they can do everything while walking. Lore Master is your traditional spellcaster where they got to stand still to do all the things that they want to do. Not everything. They can like use their debuffs, but most of their damage abilities you can't. Yeah, what's it called? Dissonance Stance. It used to be called War Speech. Where you go up to a guy and you go, and then they explode. I'm still grabbing stuff, sorry. Yeah, Minstrel, very good. I'm about to do the most current raid on tier 3, which is basically the highest difficulty the developers expect you to do. So it's like I guess you'd consider it as like the normal mode, basically. Well, not normal mode. If you compare it to WoW difficulties, this would be like doing it on heroic mode, not mythic, but just like the heroic mode. So you'll be able to see it here. So if you want to see how the character actually plays and what it looks like, it's fun. It's very, very fun. We're about to do that. I got some of the best gear, so I'm going to check it out. Is there like a race everyone goes for? So High Elf is 5% more light damage than every other race, which is an additive 5% damage, which ends up being like, I don't know, like 2.5% extra damage on their attacks. And then outside of that, it doesn't matter. For me, I picked Dwarf because Dwarves shout when they use their songs and stuff and all their attacks. And so they shout like, Baruch Kazad! And it just sounds awesome. So I like that me personally. Okay, so browse shop. No, browse shop. I gotta move this. So if you have an item that is bound like this, so this is bound, it binds to me, I can actually move it anyway. God, my inventory is a mess. I gotta fix it. I'm also the type of person who will like not fix the inventory forever. So I gotta find the item in here. And once I do, once I find the item, oh, does this not have a gold value? Can I not sell the necklaces? Oh, the necklace doesn't have a value. Hold on. So if I need to transfer the necklace, but it's binding status, I can delete it and then buy it back, right? Ah, okay. I just need a low-level essence. Do I have a low-level essence in here? Lively, 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 lively. Okay, so I can just put the crit in here. Okay, so I put that here. Okay, now it's bound. Okay, we're good. Whew. Trying to figure out how to transfer this one item because I couldn't figure it out. Because it binds. I just wanted it like basically it has every item you get from like raids and stuff. Within the first hour, you can trade it with anyone you did the raid with, and then after that, it binds to your account. And I was like, I wanted to force it to bind so I could actually trade it between my characters. Is Dwarf as OP in LOTRO as it is in DDO? Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna reset the client because I swapped characters around a lot, so I can reload this thing. Yeah, so for the reason why I like the dwarf is because they have like all the fantastic dwarven shouts every time they do anything. And to me, that's like a huge win. And that's one of the reasons why I play them. Dwarves also get Dwarven Endure. No, is it Endurance? I think they get a Vitality buff for the raid, which is not very good, but they get it. And they also get Shield Brawler, so they get extra blocking after fighting enough trolls, which is kind of cool. So they get like higher block than anybody else, which makes them fit into the archetypal Guardian. Also, because Minstrels wear shields, then you get the block on the Minstrel as well, so I get all the block. Never play normal dwarf, do Sedax instead. What? What's the most paladin class? Probably Guardian. Depends on what you're thinking about when it comes to paladin. Yeah. So Guardian and Captain embody different elements of paladin. So the more defensive, protective nature, so the protect my friends nature of some elements of paladin is present in Guardian, versus Captain, which is like the leader, the front line, somebody who is like, yeah, like the leader of men, as it were. So somebody who is jumping up and taking charge and leading people through the experience, which is very, you know, paladin or paladin adjacent. Okay, so I need 2 crit essences. Fill up my crit. Okay, get my crit. Put that there. There we go. Accept. Let's go Frosty. Frosty the Snowman. Blue Captain is pretty paladin. Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? I disagree with what I just said. I would go with Captain. Captain is your paladin. No, that's because Hammertimes is a paladin player in Dungeons & Dragons Online. That's his thing. He plays Hammer Paladin in DDO. That's why his name is Hammertimes. Playing, I like the Warden. Yeah, Warden also only gets more complicated. So if you like complicated characters, Warden is the best. It's basically Street Fighter. You play Street Fighter while you play DDO, which is cool. Which is it's an interesting bit of little bit of game design there. Okay, edit damages sequence. I have a trinket here and a necklace. Beautiful. So I just gained a bunch of damage. Tactical mastery, tactical mastery. Tactical mastery. Nice. Feeling better about my stats. But yeah, it would be captain. They also made a change to captain, so captains generally aren't, like, they're a support class, so they are not the best melee DPS in the game. So if you're looking for, like, a strong melee DPS, captain is not your guy. Asterix. They recently buffed captain and made it a much stronger melee DPS, to the point where it actually, with enough practice, can do comparable melee DPS to an actual DPS, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if you're interested in trying that one out, it is quite good right now. Captains they're all melee, but they play a tank, healer, and DPS role. They heal by raising your morale. So they basically make valiant strikes and things on the front lines of battle that cause people's morale to go up, and morale is health in this game. As a tank, they're just really tanky, and they heal themselves a lot. I don't actually know what Paladin's niche is right now, because they used to be the buffing class, and then they stripped a lot of that away as the tank. And then you have the damage captain, where you can either stand alone and get a bunch of damage buffs, or you become the best raid buffer in the game, which is why every raid has a captain. For the longest time, every raid, for what, about 4 years of this game's history, every raid had 2 captains. But I just bring too much DPS, no one notices? Yeah, exactly. Now, you can do reasonable damage on a captain. A captain will do about 40% of the damage of a regular DPS, but they do so much more. Also, I'm going to screw up and die so many times. I admit, I haven't practiced as much as I should this character. Frosty. Oh yeah, also my character name is Frosty the Snowman. No, I will not be answering questions about why my character is named Frosty the Snowman. That's not important. Anyway, don't worry about it. Just don't think about it. Not important. Unimportant piece of information. Is there a way to drop aggro on this character? No, there isn't, is there? How do I lower my aggro? Why is your character named Frosty the Snowman? Dude, I just said. Man, how do I lower aggro? Okay, I get extra will from this. My 9-star pies. Okay, so I'm definitely capped on tactical mastery at this point, right? Tactical mastery. Oh, I'm at 198.4%. I'm almost capped. We're almost there. And my crit also isn't capped. I'm close. Ugh. It's because I need to max out my legendaries. Also, I have a purple. I'm just worried about what happens when we have to go get the Durzogs. I think the Durzogs are going to be interesting. I'm not stoked for when we have to deal with Durzogs. Banner of War. Oh yeah, I'm a DPS now. Oh, I get to DPS now. Oh. Okay. Alright, boss. Come here. Let me do damage to you. Okay, so Minstrel is about a lot of, at endgame, is a very heavy animation canceling class, which may not be the most interesting thing, depending on whether you like animation canceling in video games or not. But that is one of the main selling points of it, is that basically one of the ways you can play this character is you can deal like almost double the damage of nearly anybody else, because you just like basically cast skills twice as fast as you're supposed to. Which is kind of cool. By using proper and clever animation cancels. Animation cancels. I think I'm being let to do all of the anthems. Also, I'm not really great at playing Minstrel yet. I'm still practicing Minstrel, so I will make mistakes. So I'm going to make a lot of mistakes while playing this character, but I'm going to try my best. I gotta do this to get my 3 peoples back. I'm gonna find it difficult to talk during these segments just because I have only recently started raiding on the Minstrel. This is my second raid ever on this character, because I usually don't get brought to raid on the Minstrel. I fully geared it, I got it ready, and I've done like tons of like bug raids, just not the real deal, unfortunately. But I've spent a lot of time practicing my rotations and what have you.
Quest received.
It's gonna take me a little bit of time here. I'll try to explain it as I go. I have to jump on these stairs because I'm too short. Oh my god, amazing. Okay, I actually didn't know that that was a dwarf problem. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, I was feeling really good. How was my damage? I was at 990 damage. I tried my best, man. Right up until I died. I don't know how much damage people do, so I need to know comparative, like how much damage other people were doing, because I'm not sure. There's also a lot of RNG in Minstrel, so basically every time you use one of your ballads, every time you use a ballad, it lets you unlock your anthems, which are your buffs. So you have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 anthems. 1 buff is tier 1 anthems, 2 buffs is tier 2 anthems, 3 buffs is tier 3 anthems. It's very straightforward because as you level, you get those anthems in order, so it teaches you how to use them. So it's pretty straightforward. And when you have 3 buffs, you can also use your coda, which clears all your buffs, but has a big effect. So it's like the finisher. So it's like build up, build up, build up, finisher. Build up, build up, build up, finisher. It's kind of the way it goes, like a symphony. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is funny how it plays into it. However, there's a mechanic in here where you can you can have an effect where you don't reset your coda. I don't remember where it is. Is it here? No, it's not this one. Emboldening finish, something. There's an effect in here where it's like you have a 30% chance for your coda not to reset every time you use it. And so yeah, it's a fun problem. DPS tracker right on? Yep, I got my DPS tracker right here. There's my DPS here. Dissonant cried, putting in work. Everything else doing, whatever. Oh, this is interesting. Well, that's a wipe. Well, parser boards like an ESO. I'm not sure the specificity of the ESO parse reports. But you can break it down. So I'll use my... Or I didn't die there. That was the tank not taunting the boss, so we all died. So this is the first fight here, right? So I can break it down so I can see, like, you know, your damage, the number of critical hits that I had. So if I go Dissonant Piercing Cry, that had an 80% critical chance? Ooh. Okay, maybe that's why my damage was so high. I crit 80% of the time. That's good. By the way, crit caps at 25%. So that's... them's good odds. And so you can kind of break down stuff like this. We've also got damage taken, healed, so where heals came from. Apparently I healed myself for 778,000. Don't know how. And then your mana as well. But as far as like full parse reports, it only gives you your information. It doesn't give you anybody else's information. But you can break down and look into categories. So usually when people check out their DPS specs, they usually look at skill usage because the actual numbers that are on here will depend on RNG and your stats. But these are the uses of each skill, and this is what matters more. So it'll be like, I use this skill 52 times, this skill 17 times, this skill 35. And you'll be like, oh, you're not using Call to Fate often enough. There's your DPS problem right there. Why is your damage lower? You got to work on those skill usages. I was, yeah. Yep, I'm doing it. Flying those swords. At 8 p.m. Yeah, this is the new Minstrel rotation that people have figured out. Is basically 3 actions per second. It can be very hard on your wrist. I will be honest. This is not the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. It's like a lot of rapid button presses. Because there's so much animation canceling present here. And there's also a lot of, as I said, Minstrel has a ton of RNG involved in it, in the actual, like, class, because of all the resets you get. It's like, sometimes it resets the cooldown of your skills, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does this, and sometimes it doesn't. So you gotta be careful when you come to this use of skills. As I said, the breakdowns are pretty good. They make it pretty straightforward, what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and what you need to improve on. Okay, get this going. At 55%. I will admit, I'm doing so much bar watching and not like screen watching, and where I'm actually supposed to be like attacking and standing. I'm very focused on the mechanics of the class right now. As I said, it's the magic of this not being my primary class. I just recently started learning the Minstrel, so you're always going to take time to practice and get to know things better. Murder beams. Let's go AoE, buddy. France. I died. What tier is this? Tier 3, yeah. France. The crystal was over here and it got me. How did I misclick that? Don't answer that question. Put this buff up. Just gonna get my buffs up, man. And also use the coda. And also kill these guys. Fuck, go away. I think I was supposed to get the distributed from this, which I was not doing enough. Which I don't like. I really don't like the distributed from this. But I use a scrolls on myself, probably. But yeah. Anyway, Minstrel very APM intensive and hard for me to talk, as you can tell. Giving you fragmented sentences. Fragments. Okay. That. You stand in the puddle. Puddle bad. Strim Tom. Puddle bad. Time. You get your coda twice in a row, it feels pretty good. We have 2 calls to greatness, so we can do a lot here. Timing and blue mini was broken for yellow and red became its main use. Well, there's no such thing as yellow mini anymore, right? They got rid of that. If you haven't played in a little bit, they actually got rid of yellow mini, so you can play yellow mini. Like by using the tree, but you can't actually play the whole spec. Yeah. So they made it so, you know how Brawler came out with 2 trees instead of 3? They made it so it's just like that. So instead, you can't actually play, you can't actually play yellow, but you can put points into it no matter what. Oh god. It's over. Damn. Is it a good change? Absolutely. Basically, instead of it being like Minstrels could either go blue to heal, or yellow where they're healing but with buffs, or red maybe. Now, because they split it up, both yellow and red both buffs. They both get they basically get the whole yellow tree, so you can spend points on all of them. So both of them get, like, you know, Call to Greatness and some of the other abilities here. So you can take all the specific things that you want. So you can buff in both yellow and red. Except the difference is yellow gets Anthem, or blue gets Anthem of Compassion, which reduces damage, whereas red gets Anthem of War, and you get specific Anthem buffs within the line. So that's basically the delineator between whether if you have a DPS Minstrel you get the War, whereas if you have the other one you get the Anthem of Compassion. They also changed up how the stances work as well. So you get, like, you buff out people based on how many anthems you've put out. And yeah, it ends up coming out a lot better, because it means that the DPS Minstrel feels good and fun to play, and they can bounce it around the other classes without worrying about how much utility it brings, because it brings as much utility as the healing Minstrel. So you kind of, you know, you might think to yourself, okay, so you only want to have, like, 1 Minstrel so they can apply the same buffs, except we actually have 2 DPS Minstrels in our party, because we're both able to maintain the Call of a Roam debuff, and which means we can have the light damage mitigation up 100% of the time in the raid, which means all of our hunters and everybody else can stack the damage. So it's kind of interesting how it ends up, like, breaking down. Overall, the change was really, really good. They're doing the same thing with Guardian, actually, where they're taking its 3rd tree, the yellow tree, and just making it into one just general tree with lots of good stuff in it. Like, for example, I don't take the Gift of the Hammerhand targets because I'm on a DPS, but you might take that if you're doing, like, 3-mans or something, right? Because even though I'm in Dissonance, I can still use Gift of the Hammerhand. Coming back to the Stat Squish. Stat Squish looks interesting. So they had 2 versions of the Stat Squish. They had one which is just Stat Squish, the numbers are going to go down. Which, like, I think a lot of people are going to like. For some, like, a lot of people don't like the big numbers in the game, which I personally don't understand. But, like, hey, if you don't like something, this is America, baby. You can dislike whatever the fuck you want. But when it comes to changing up some of the numbers, specifically where they're like they want to reevaluate the stats, I'm kind of torn. Where they had like, oh, they're gonna make it so that, you know, might is relevant for damage for different classes and agility is the crit for different classes, and kind of break the stats down into the way that they used to be. And as somebody who is an old man who likes things in the past and doesn't like change and wants everything to go back to the good old days, the reason why we don't have those stats like that anymore is because it's really hard to balance around having all three stats, because your gear is not going to give you all three stats. So by making it so that will classes use will and might classes use might, it's partially done because it's easier, but also because the gearing requirements becomes a lot more complicated for the average player. So overall, I think it's actually a really cool idea. As somebody who likes the challenge of putting together item sets, again, I'm a Dungeons & Dragons Online live streamer and not a Lord of the Rings Online live streamer. Dungeons & Dragons Online has one of the most complex gearing systems of any video game I've ever played. And so they do a pretty good job of, I think that, like I said, the idea is interesting in and of itself. It's all going to come down to execution. That, and also, they were originally going to do it like in a pretty soon patch, but they definitely should do it when they release a new expansion, so that way people don't have the pressure of like needing to re-gear mid-expansion and replace all their stats, which would be very stupid. So instead, they're probably going to wait till like a next expansion flips over, where you replace all your gear anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's like, oh no, my gear stats changed, I have to replace everything. Well, I'm already leveling up and doing that, which makes more sense. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I like trade-offs when done properly. Why did I die? What did I die to? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ate the distributed. Oops. This is distributed and I ate it by myself. Oopsie. Thank you. Dead again. As I said, I actually really like, I agree. I really like the idea of the stats changing. I think that's really cool. Damage out. Let me get my buffs up. I need them. Back on the boss. Yeah, as I said, I don't have issues with those concepts generally. I just think that that is the perfect time to do it in a new expansion, so people are re-gearing and learning it, than like during the expansion where, you know, people have to redo their entire gear sets all of a sudden, and like it takes forever to get your gear in this game. And if all of a sudden my raid gear becomes obsolete, even as somebody who's like, no, I'm a full-time gamer, so I have the time to fix it and to change these things to make the gear sets proper. What happened to everybody? Why did everybody die? Oh. Anyway. Oh, is the tank died? I wasn't paying attention. It's not my job. Are there any classes that are hard to come by currently? I think the only premium class is the Bjorning and the Brawler. Is the Bjorning free? I actually don't know. Tank got 2-shot? Yeah. Yeah, Bjorning might be free. So then it's just Brawler then. And the new class that's coming out in the next expansion. Could be cool. Brawler is the highest mitigation tank in the game. They take less damage than any other tank in the game in a single target capacity. They are currently not taken as damage dealers, even though they're not bad. They just don't do better than anybody else, so they don't generally get taken. Also, they fill the niche of nobody has one. They're the last class to be added, and there's 140 levels in this game. So for the majority of the Good to Bad expansion, a lot of people didn't have Brawlers. So you kind of suffered from the new class syndrome, where people don't want to bring you to the new raid because they're like, or the new dungeons or content, because they don't know what your class does and they're not getting used to it. People are used to it now. I wouldn't say you need to bring a brawler. You can beat lots of content without having one for sure. Captain, Brawler, and Guardian are all used interchangeably as main tanks, and some people still play Warden because they buffed up Warden a lot. But is it necessary to play Brawler? No. You want to always get into every single group no matter what? Pick Lore Master or Captain. You always get to go. There's always a spot for those two classes. Or Hunter, and be good. If you want, also pick Hunter and be good at the game. There's lots of people who play Hunter, and they play this game just, like, you know, for fun. Which is perfectly cool. I love playing video games for fun. They don't play the game to be like an epic 420 Blaze It Raider. And so they might join a raid group, but they're not like the best. You know, they got the gear that they've got, and they're just having a good time. And that's great. But, like, Hunter is the highest DPS class in the game. Traditionally. It might not be exactly right now, but usually it's the highest DPS class. So being a very good Hunter is a very sought-after thing. Because there's a sea of bad Hunters out there. You can differentiate yourself by being the good one. Why am I taking so much damage? Everything hurts. These classes based on characters from the book? Yep. Well, every character is loosely based off of a character from the book. In fact, when you go to Rivendell, you get your class quests for level 45 when the game first released, and the first series of class quests, you had to go and talk to the character that the class was based off of.
Quest received.
So, for example, you have to talk to Boromir for captains, as an example. So, because he is like, you know, a captain of Gondor.
Quest received.
Or Samwise Gamgee as the Guardian, because he is, you know, he is the quintessential protector of Frodo throughout the story. Is Hunter whatever? I don't know. I never played Hunter. Hunter's for losers, dude. Hunter? More like boring-ter. Zing, got him. Destroyed, dude. Oh, this guy does not want to move. What is Strider's class? I don't know. I don't know if he has a class, because he's a ranger. He's a member of the Dunedain. Sorry, I'm just focusing really hard because I want to wipe the raid. Okay, go. I've gotten like no resets, so my damage is way lower. I didn't get reset on any of my AoE skills, not even one. Big sad moment. Okay, I think we're good. Why did I not get knocked back? So bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking for the rest of the raid. I have literally never DPS'd this section. I've only done this as a tank, so I just gotta focus, so I apologize. If you have questions about something, I'll read it when we wipe, or if I'm dead. Yeah, this fight impales Shrimp. bugged. I can read now. Is working overtime? Yeah. You take a ton of damage in this fight. The crystal hits very, very hard. Very true. Fortunately, as Brawler, you don't really take any damage. One of my favorite parts about the class. You just kind of like don't really take a whole lot of damage from anything. Stream impaled. Thank you. I'm sorry. They're both coming. No, not the suck. Get away from me. Oh. Scrim pin. No, don't wipe it. I'm alive, you bastards. No, I'm pinned in the shard. No, that was so close. Oh, the final bit is hard. So basically, in this fight, the way it works is the Asashal and Clycord, those two bosses, are literally the last boss from the, like, that's the third boss. And at 20%, they resurrect, the boss resurrects them from the dead, and you have to do all of their mechanics on top of the boss being maxed out. Because at 90%, it's at 90%, 60%, 50%, 40%, and 20%, he gets a new mechanic. So then at 20%, when he's maxed, he becomes immune to damage. You have to kill these both at the same time with all of their previous mechanics. Oh, do I not have any bleed pots? Oh, you're right. I don't have any bleed pots. That's stupid. Sick. I'm gonna go get some Google. I forgot, I don't raid on this character so often, I didn't even know I didn't have him. I was facing. You missed the way minis used to be able to group heal? Oh, is it different? Is tanking difficult? A lot of people don't do it, so you could argue that it's difficult as a result, because a lot of people just choose not to do it. I don't think tanking is terribly difficult, but I will say that, like, you probably have the highest capacity to just entirely wipe the raid as a tank over anyone else. Here, I just bought a whole bunch of potions. Well, especially when you have multiple bosses and other mechanics to pay attention to, you're dodging frontals, you have to make sure things... Like, this last fight is... Nothing is going on, and then once the boss gets down to 20%, it's all madness, where you have like 6 different things going on at the same time. Yeah, it's very fight dependent. Like, for example, in the previous boss in this raid, so the Hidden Horde of Habanaka, one of the bosses is Dush Talbuk, who's the second boss, and there's a 3-tank strategy and a 2-tank strategy. The 3-tank strategy is that during each ad wave, 1 tank handles the ads, and the other 2 tanks handle the boss. So that way, it's like you're just splitting it up. It makes it a lot easier, because you basically just do one job. So you either tank all the ads, or you tank the boss, and you and the other boss tank trade the boss back and forth. But on the 2-tank strategy, you have to trade the boss back and forth and trade the ads back and forth, and it becomes like a whole other mess. But the benefit of the 2-tank strategy is it means you have an extra DPS, which means the ads go down a lot faster. So that not only does the raid get done faster, but priority targets go down faster. So the ad waves can be easier because the big dangerous things die really quick. So it becomes a, you know, it depends on the fight and the strategy you're using. Is what I will say. Yeah, very fight dependent. Is there anything I need to do other than feed the random BTC raid weapons that you accumulate as a tank ult that nobody else wants? Don't roll on loot to feed it, is my advice to you. Don't roll on loot to feed it. Like them, don't I like the idea of pet rotations? Yeah, they might be killing pet rotations. Because they said they wanted to make blue LM just like Captain. And so they might be out with the pet rotation. We'll see how that goes. I think it's easy being a good tank is a completely different matter. True, in a lot of cases. Admittedly, like, the job of a tank is usually, like, get aggro, stand still, don't die. Which, depending on, like, the raid that you're doing, is honestly not that hard to do. We advance them to war up, we're good. And the free people systems prowess. Passion. Oh my god. Not enough resets. Your chat didn't show up? It did. Lurk, in honor of the Lord of the Rings, here's a quote. Rings of Power quote. I have said it already 100 times over in every way but words. Is that a Rings of Power quote? That show was very forgettable. I remember like a couple scenes, like where the elf, whose name I don't remember, who's in love with the human woman, where he like is in that he's in that camp and does like ninja shit and kills a bunch of people, and he's like captured by the orcs with the other elves. And that was cool with like the chains. That was a cool scene. And like the last episode was like really good. Also, the actor who played Elrond did a really good job of holding a pained expression like the entire TV show. How he did it, we'll never know. But he always looks like there's something terribly wrong happening in his life the entire time. I run into deer. Yeah, I definitely forgot his name. You look at Eaton? No, I saw it. I just didn't read it. Sometimes like my brain, depending on the size of the wall of text, sometimes my brain like just tunes it out. It's like the bot spam. Baron didn't watch it anymore. It's not a bad show, but it's not a good show either. Which is kind of disappointing, considering the budget they spent on it. I will say, I've never watched a television program that was as pretty looking as that TV show. Holy guacamole, that was a good show. Like, the level of detail, and, like, in the CGI and stuff, it looks so good. And some of the action scenes are, like, pretty cool. And the general premise behind the story I find is interesting. I feel like the problem is they had too many, like, lingering shots. You know that thing where they do in movies, where, like, they you know, leave the camera on one of the characters for too long and have them like shout out some expository dialogue nonsense, or like to show that, you know, there's some big impact that's happening within the story. You know, character is sad, some bad news happens, and they go like, they stare off in the distance. Way too much of that in that show. Which again is not necessarily a bad thing. I like you know, Better Call Saul, which is a very patient show, where it has the expectation of you that it's not going to like rush through everything, you know. I'm so dead. I don't even know where to start. But yeah, there was just way too much of that in the show. People like to nitpick like some of the smaller segments. Or range on the crystal. So dead. I'm so dead. But yeah, I don't mind shows that like linger on segments for like emotional weight. I really don't mind that. That's kind of cool. But yeah, and like I said, I'm not somebody who's gonna nitpick like the smaller elements with like, how did they fit all the Numenorians on the boat, dude? Impale shrimp. Got it. Like, how did they fit so many Numenorians on the boat? I don't know. They probably had more than one boat and it was just off camera. Like, like that sort of stuff doesn't like bother me, where people like nitpick the smaller elements of the show. But like the writing's kind of boring, for sure. I thought it was interesting because one of the characters in the show, who was friends with what's his name? The kid, the son. Cannot remember his name for the life of me. The son of main Numenorian guy. I don't remember his name. Anyway, one of his friends has the same name as the Lord of the Rings Online character, and I was like, oh shit, they're actually taking inspiration from the beginning of the Lord of the Rings Online. Yeah, Isildur. One of Isildur's friends has the same name as one of Isildur's friends in Lord of the Rings Online in the story that they tell. And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. And then he dies. I was like, oh, he's a different character. Got it. I got it. We double. Perfect. I'm gonna stop talking because we're at the end of the raid. Oh god, get him out. Get away from me. Oh, that's a raid wipe. Go away, Crystal. I'm invincible. Okay, anyway. What raid is that? This is, Gwathrenost, the seat of the Witch King. That fire stuff. The problem is, it's the chaos, right? So, what you don't see, because if you haven't done this fight before, so the crystal drops puddles. The lady drops puddles as well. So she marks 5 people with the debuff. Marks 5 people with a debuff, called Boiling Blood, and then after 10 seconds you drop this blood boil puddle on the ground. So there's those puddles on the ground. And then she does the suck, where she pulls everyone to her. So you're trying to not drop the puddles in the wrong spot. You're not trying to get in front of the frontal of the boss. You're not trying to stand in the spot there. You can't be too close to the lava or else the boss kicks you back into the lava. And then all of a sudden, boom, you get the suck. And everyone goes to the other boss. And now it's like panic, you have to get away. But the problem is she slows you when that happens. So it's on like the captains and brawlers to move speed people to get away, to spread. And everyone has to spread because it deals AoE damage to people around them. But you can't go too far because everyone comes in. And it's like, oh, like this area is blocked off, this area is blocked off. You can maybe go here, but you got to sneak through here, but 2 people have to go through here because you don't want to run through the ground. But yeah, so it's like just a lot of stuff happening at the same time. So, like, additionally, this is also B team where everyone's on their B characters. So we have like a totally different group. 10%? No, it's a 12. We're just changing up comp. One of the tanks needs like a little bit more practice to get through it, and it's tough because in this fight, basically, the way that we do it is we have one tank who tanks the guy and the other tank who tanks the girl, and they both do huge damage. And so the tank that's tanking the girl also tanks the crystal at the same time, but the crystal has this major distributed hit. Well, the distributed hit can be fully BPE'd, so block, parry, evade, but if you don't block, parry, evade it, you take millions of damage. So the idea is that if you have a Guardian, they can just run Juggernaut, then you hit Call to Greatness, they can run Juggernaut a second time, so they can double Juggernaut and not die, and survive through that while we deal damage on the other side. But it's very important to, like, basically you have to, like, really stagger and manage cooldowns really, really carefully, and if you miss it for, like, a 2-second interval, then you're dead, and it becomes very careful with the strategy that we're using. This fight is challenging, if I will say that. It's a lot of moving pieces. It's cool though. I like it. This raid they did a really good job with. Gwathrenost is very, very good. I found that Hidden Horde was more like hit and miss. But yeah, this raid they did very good, in my opinion. Maybe leave the game. Yeah, I found just the raid was kind of boring. Every boss fight is the boss knocks you back, stand against the wall. Oh, I'm not familiar with an LM glitch. I've only done tier 3. I know on tier 4 the dragon flies around and stuff. I haven't done it though. Only did tier 3. I was invited to join a group that was doing tier 4, and I declined because that's type of rating is like, it's too much, man. It's too much. It's like the level of focus and tryhardiness. Ooh, too much. I like the tier 3. You get all the gear, and you get the achievement or like the title or whatever, the deed. Did I get the deed for this character? I did. Did I get to lead the charge? I've walked into mortar. What's that under? Social quest? I have no idea. Heritage event deed. I have it on my brawler and my captain. I don't think I have it on this character. Vader, hidden stayer. Oh yeah, bloody survivor. So it would be here. So vanquisher, Twinsbane, vile apothecary. Ooh. Yeah, I don't have the lead the charge on this character. Barrow constantly just taunt boss on repeat to get the bleed off tank. They made it so we did last boss with one tank, super cheese. I don't know exactly how LM did it, but it was fixed soon after. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Oh, Anna's tanking, I see. I was not paying attention to what we were changing. I think LM is looked for more than Captain. I'm searching for the first character class. It's between Captain, LM, and Champ. So Captain and LM are more sought after than Champ. For sure. Between Captain and LM, they're both equally sought after, I would say. It's like fairly even. Because Captain is the slowest leveling class in DDO, in Lord of the Rings Online. So a lot of people don't level it because it's slow. It's worth it if you like the TV series. I'm not familiar with Venture Bros, actually. That's interesting, though. I forgot about that. I wanted to check out, see if I could stream Lava Lantula. Sorry, 2 Lava, 2 Lantula. Have you guys ever seen the movie Lava Lantula? It's a very bad, like, you know, B monster movie. Big fan. I love it. Just garbage. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And they made a sequel to Lava Lantula called To Lava to Lantula. And it's on Amazon Prime, so we can do it as a watch party. But I wanted to see if we actually have, or if I can actually do that. Oh, I have a Dwarven Vitality ability. Where does that go? Is it on here? Bit. Dwarf Endurance. There you go. Have Dwarven Endurance. It's not even an essence worth of vitality, so that's not that great. Oh, I'm the only Minstrel now. Oh, I actually have to do the thing. Well, that happens. Sometimes that happens to you, you know? I don't know if you know Mickey Barney, but he was our champ for a while before he started to play for Exodia. Absolute Demon has rotation down to milliseconds. I did not know Mickey or Barney or whoever. Yeah. Die, please. Yeah, that's Brawler in a nutshell. Brawler basically just doesn't die to anything. Well, tank should fist bump? Yeah. Brawler is just the tankiest thing in the whole game. What's funny is they actually heavily nerfed it. Because it was too much. And it's still just like the best. There's no comparison. It's so good. It's so dumb. I have a raise? Yeah, I do. Also, wondering why I have extras of these is so I don't actually misclick it. So I can just like, I just have to put my hand in this direction and do the thing. So I have extras. Oh, somebody else is doing it? I don't have to use Hope or Scrolls? Oh. Love not doing Hope and Scrolls. Consumables. Yeah, Brawler basically takes no damage. If you want, through use of cooldowns, you can stay alive against anything for a minute and a half. Literally anything. It's very dumb. Yeah, I will say the only downside, hammer times, to what you may find with this video game is that hammers are bad weapons. Because their base effect is like reduce enemy evade chance or something dumb. It's like not very good. But, this is the big one. You can just cosmetic a hammer. You know how hard it is to use the cosmetic system in this game? So here's how I use the cosmetic system. This is what my character looks like now. Clown costume. So what I do is like, this is what my character's cosmetic outfit is. So if I want to change something, I can be like, you know what? I don't like this hood. I'm going to change the helmet or the shoulders. I just take the shoulders, drag and drop, and done. Now I got the shoulders. That's it. Done. And now my character has this horrible shoulders. It doesn't match. I don't have that other item. I can't put it back on. My outfit. I break my outfit to show you. And so you can just cosmetic over it with like a hammer or whatever. But using a hammer, oof, it's gonna be a tough one. That is the one downside, is that hammers are not good. Hammers, clubs, maces. It's pretty much all unused weapon types. That being said, the difference is not that major. And for the purpose of DPS, so if like you're a captain of DPS, I actually don't think it matters what you do. Other than the fact that, oh, I guess humans get two-handed sword mastery. No one gets like hammer mastery. Do all this myself. I know I'm being quiet. I'm just like kind of focusing on my task. I will say, as much as I like, I want to be the live the casual gamer lifestyle, I can't, and I'm very hard on myself when I don't do something right. So if I make a mistake in my rotation, or like, you know, I do something that will heavily impact the raid, I notice, and I can be pretty hard on myself. So sometimes where I notice my focus is slipping, I'll stop talking just to try and recenter myself. You ever do that? You ever like want to focus? See you do. The old attention span up. I got ads. Fuck, ads. Ads in. Ads in. Raid is hard. And that's dead. That's a wipe. Oh god, I'm dead. The rally, is there something I'm missing? I don't want to use rally unless it gets called out for. I'm waiting for someone to do the call because this has a 15-minute cooldown or a 7-minute cooldown. So if I rally and there was already somebody else going for a res, or if something else is happening, generally they call out who's going to res who, and so I was waiting for the call of to res somebody. So I have rally. Yeah. A 3-minute cooldown? I'm in red. I'm a red Minstrel. I'm not a healer. Healers are 2.5 minutes. The healer gets minus 5 minutes on rally cooldown. And that goes from 7.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes. But I'm red. And then yellow's got nothing on it. It'd be cool. Cool. 100% Court of Salvation healing. What if I could just have all of it? They should just give me all of these abilities. That's what they should do. So if I forgot more than most people will ever know about this game. Yeah, it's all good, dude. Don't worry about it. That happens to me when you take a break from a video game for a bit, and you remember the unimportant details, like the specifics of an individual quest, or like, you know, some weird quirk about a mechanic. Oh, I'm ready, sorry. The quirk of an individual mechanic or quest or something, but then it's like, what do my abilities do? What the fuck is that? What is this? Coda of, oh my, did they change something? Did they delete my character? What? All the time. There's so much you lose when you skip a couple raid seasons. Yeah, well, especially, so, I don't know if because you said you'd taken 8 months off, SSG has, like, pedal to the metal, in terms of the reworks and class balance. I don't know if it's because they hired new people, they changed their priorities, but they're, like, mega rebalancing the entire game right now. And it looks really, and it's, every rework has been super good. The Warden rework was awesome. The Minstrel rework has been very, very, very well received. The Captain rework is sick. And then the Lore Master and Guardian reworks are on the way. So, yeah. Like, they're actually just balancing the game and making it so everything has a role. Again, they said that, like, Blue Lore Master, the idea is that it would be akin to a Red Captain. So let's just say, you know, your Red Captain can't make it for the day or whatever. You can just bring in the Blue Lore Master and they can replace it if you happen to have a second one. It'll have, like, mutually exclusive abilities or whatever. Which I think is really, really cool. One of my biggest problems with this game is the lack of redundancy, and the fact that, like, I've talked about this a million times before, but, like, if you have a Lore Master in your raid, and they can't come, you know, something happens, they get, you know, lost on their way to work, they get stuck in a ditch. Well, guess what? Oop. That's over. We have to wipe because apparently something happened I was managed to do. But yeah, somebody gets like stuck in a ditch and then they can't do anything. It's like you have to cancel the raid because their lore master can't make it. But like, what if Yellow Hunter could just be like, oh, I'll just swap my hunter over and bring it in, you know? That's what I was kind of hoping they would do with Guardian. Instead, I think they're making it like a utility line or whatever. But still. You dev have more resources to fix stuff? Yeah, this game makes more money though. And LOTRO requires more tactics? Yeah, Lord of the Rings Online is a harder video game for sure. One usable trait line? Mm-hmm. And so making it so that multiple classes not only have multiple usable trait lines, but like, it might seem dumb to just be like, okay, you know, so let's say, you know, because they said they wanted Blue Lore Master to be the same as like Red Captain, right? So, you know, on the one hand, you might be like, oh, well, it's, you know, it's dumbing down the game because now you have basically two classes that have the same full set of abilities. You know, instead of Oathbreaker's Shame, it's Attack of the Animals or something, or whatever it is, and it's like the same abilities but a different spin on it. So they're exclusive. So if you can't have both of them in the same raid because their abilities don't stack together. You might be like, oh, that's stupid. They're like dumbing it down. But in my opinion, they're just taking something that clearly didn't work before and then putting it in this redundant spot so that way you can have multiple people filling the same role. So you have less binding when it comes to more like, you know, who can come to your raid group. And then also you can have more versatility in terms of how you design the classes because now classes can have their very specific specializations, especially since the support class is so ubiquitous to this video game. Like, what do you do if you're a guild and you have two lore masters? You tell one of them, yeah, you can't come to raid today. Sorry. Every single week. But soon they'll be like, yeah, you know, once they separate out the healing and the buffing, whatever, then it'll be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. You're gonna DPS today, lore master, man, and then, you know, tomorrow, actually, can you run, you know, the blue lore master for the buffs? We don't have the captain coming today. And oh, you need to debuff this day. I mean, on the one hand, it might mean that people have to like learn how to play different things in the game, but screw them. Your eyes do. Not that hard. Video games aren't hard. Learn it. How much investment does it take to get into endgame? Okay, so that depends. One, do you have a guild or group of people who will, who are capable of helping you out and helping you level? So, not level, but like get fully geared. So the answer to that question, so like for example, if you have friends that play the game or you can join a guild, getting through the end game is not too bad because you can, you know, people can carry you through things, especially since we're at the end of the expansion cycle. So all of the content has been released. There's no more new content for the expansion until the next one. Like, there's gonna be like new quests and stuff, but like no new raids, no new dungeons. It's all done. While we're waiting for the next one to come up. And so, end of the expansion, not too bad. Beginning of the expansion is a little bit harder because people are still figuring out the balance and the mechanics. I will say the hardest thing is going to be leveling up to the level cap because this game does have 140 levels, which is not challenging. This game is not challenging on the landscape. In fact, it's pathetically easy. It's so easy, in fact, that they actually added a guy that basically lets you turn the entire landscape on Reaper mode, which is very cool, by the way. I love the landscape difficulty system. Oh, it's so freaking good. It's really, really fun. So it's just a good idea for the system. But the, what was I saying before? But yeah, getting to the level cap, it just takes a long time, especially because this game is the Lord of the Rings. So if you like the Lord of the Rings as a general concept, like you think the Lord of the Rings is like a cool story, you think Tolkien's an alright writer or whatever, then you will deeply enjoy the, you'll enjoy this video game a lot. Because this game is as true to form to Tolkien's writings as you can get. The way that they do it is, if Tolkien wrote it, it's in the game. So if Tolkien wrote it, that's how it is in the game. No ifs, ands, or buts. If Tolkien wrote it, that's how it happens. But if Tolkien alluded to something... What is happening? I'm dead. If Tolkien alluded to something, so for example, in The Mines of Moria, he writes, you know, the nameless horrors in the depths of Moria. The developers were like, I'm gonna make some nameless horrors. Sounds good, dude. And they just made some crazy monsters. That's all they got. They just went with it. So it's kind of cool. Warden is actually a just learn it class. It's easier to get virtues. You just buy a level boost. Good experience though. You mentioned Aaron quests and that captain was slower. If you're like a good video game player, you won't have any difficulty on the entire leveling experience unless you turn up the difficulty. The quests are standard MMORPG fetch quests for the most part. The way that they, again, the reason why it's different is because everything is tied into the story of the Lord of the Rings. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, reading the quest dialogue in each area becomes relevant to the total story because it all ties into the books and all that stuff, and it builds out the world. Because you got so much world, dude. Dude, look at how much world you friggin' have. Look how big the video game is. All these areas are fully mapped out. All these fucking areas are fully mapped out. This area, you got East and West Rohan to go to. You want to go to Mordor? Go to Mordor. You want to go... Look at all the places you can go in Mordor. I had so much video game. So it is very cool. But there are two ways to level up very quickly. One, you can buy a level boost, level 130. That skips your way through pretty much all the content, and then you can just be at the new expansion. Or, because there's no TRing or anything, it's like traditional MMORPG, you level up, not down. Or, you can just grind. You can grind pretty fast. How fast could you do it? Oh, realistically, it'd probably take about, if you're just grinding, like you're playing like a good solid 4 hours a day for a month, I would think you'd probably get at least to Mordor. So like 105 to 110. But that depends. Now, do I have a method of leveling people from level 130 to level 140 in 36 minutes? Yes. It's a secret. I can't talk about it on here. What is penalty for dying in the raid? You're dead. Unlike DDO, self-raise or raise in-combat raises are limited. Only certain classes can do it, and the cooldown time is very long. So dying is bad.
Quest received.
Yeah. Anyway, raid's over. We wiped a bunch. That's it. But yeah, good video game. Also, the game is literally free up to level 105. They made all of the content up to level 105 free. So you can just download it and give it a shot and see if you're having fun or not. You'll know pretty soon. By like level 20, 25, which is like 5-ish hours into the game, you'll be 5-6 hours. You'll know whether you're having fun or not. But yeah. Also, I don't know if Captain's the slowest to level anymore. Captain used to be the slowest to level, but then they added in the standalone stance, and that shit's crazy. You basically do as much damage as like a full DPS, which is kind of cool. So, I don't know. Might not be that bad. Turns a lot of new players off. Yeah, depends. It's also the areas are really beautiful, especially if you like underground areas. Man, dwarven areas. Look at me, I'm in Gundabad, baby, Moria. But yeah, also the other problem with MMORPGs is an MMORPG problem is that the standard, like, yeah, get to level 40 before you decide if you like it or not. I'm not going to tell you that you should spend 30 hours playing the video game to decide whether you like it or not. This isn't Diablo 4, okay? Where it's like, dude, the game gets really good when you get to level 70. Like, yeah, no. If your game isn't good before 30 hours, your game sucks. Full stop. So, like I said, you'll know if you like it right away. A lot of what gets people involved is the story for the most part. But look at the giant chasm. Gundabad. Wow. Giant. You can go all of these places. You want to go to that giant bug hive? You can. You want to go over there? You want to go down there? Is that water? Ooh. Into the endless chasm. Do you want to go in the chasm? You just go in the chasm. How far does this go? I've never jumped in this. Oh, yeah, I did. Where does it go? Is there water down here? What's down here? There's water, I think. Or it's ground. Water or ground? Okay, it's ground. Damn, that's deep. Where'd that put me? Oh god, where am I? Yeah. Oh, and they just made it so you can be a dwarven captain. So if you like the idea of being a captain with a hammer and you want to be a dwarf, you definitely can. So that's also a big deal. But yeah. Well, that's end of raid. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do for the day. Because again, I don't normally stream Mondays, but I was like, yes, screw it, I'll stream Monday. Tomorrow and also Thursday, I will be doing a marathon stream. So I will be streaming for 14 hours straight. I will be streaming Baldur's Gate 2 tomorrow and Thursday to try to finish it before Baldur's Gate 3 releases. Regular DDO stream on Wednesday because that is the new patch. Update 60 will be coming out on Wednesday, and I obviously want to be able to talk about it with all of you people, so we'll be doing that, which should be good. But yeah, so tomorrow and Thursday, long days, so we'll be starting. So if you find that exciting, please check it out. If you don't find it exciting, please check it out. It's going to be a good time. That's all I got for the evening. So thank you guys for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure you follow that channel. Subscribe if you really like it, because hey, man, why not? What are you going to do with $5? You know, what are you going to do with $5? Like, save it and then use that to pay rent? Just a struggle? No. Start a low-level, high-difficulty landscape quest group. Feel like that would introduce people in the game in a positive light? Yeah, maybe. The problem with that is that as a live streamer, I'm surprisingly not very community-driven. So you'd think that would be a good idea. But then I'm like, I don't want... Also, the fact that I don't really level a lot in this game, I mostly just play the video game Dungeons & Dragons Online. That's where I do the community thing. Also, let new people go at their own pace. True. You want to get somebody to be introduced to a video game?
How about $7?
Oh, snap! The $7 drop. Holy moly. Thanks for the $7, dude. Good job on the inability to spend your money responsibly. That's good. But no, also, when somebody is new to an MMORPG, the worst experience you can ever give them is dragging them around. You want to let them experience stuff and answer questions and play with them. They want to go somewhere, explore with them. They want to do something, explore with them. Don't just, like, put them on a leash and start pulling them all over the place. Worst way to introduce somebody to an MMORPG. I know, because that's how Dorak tried to introduce me to Guild Wars 2, and a lot of people have that experience where a friend is like, yo, go here, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this. When usually it's like, just take the 4 hours and sit down for a play session and like let them learn the world and answer questions when asked. You know, it's the best way to introduce somebody to something. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for 14 hours. It's gonna be it might not be a good time, or maybe a bad time. I don't know. But thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic time. You're all delightful. And yeah, we'll be back for some more riveting Dungeons & Dragons content. Technically true, because Baldur's Gate is based off of Dungeons & Dragons. Wow. Wait, Ipsum, are you hiding your tier 3 subscriber status, or are you now a tier 1 subscriber? You always hide it? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I wasn't sure, because it has the hiding thing. Oh, do I just not notice because I'm stupid? Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, raiding. Yeah, not a bad idea. Who's streaming right now? Raiding. Who's streaming on the computer? Let's see what we got going on. Who's streaming? This question not as a command. Oh, don't worry. The one best part about being on the computer is I have full power to ignore people. Who do we raid today? Let's raid. Oh, hey, Safa, how you doing? You came at the perfect time, by the way. This is like literally the end of the live stream. We're gonna raid Nim, because he's on his 4-year anniversary, and that seems like the nice thing to do. It's not the same category, but it's the nice thing to do. So we'll do that. It's his 4-year. top ranked kick streamer is Nimbin. I don't think is the top ranked kick streamer. So I'm gonna before we go. So I was looking into kick, and I gotta say it is like for all the money that they're spending, they're definitely not. I don't think they're getting the their money's worth for sure in terms of like the value on the website. I mean, obviously the value is infinite to them because the money is meaningless because they make so much money from gambling, online gambling, that it doesn't matter. But it is just interesting. I thought there would have been like bigger moves, but other than it was like XQC is being paid $1 million to stream on, or like, you know, a bunch of millions of dollars to stream on Kick. And you have like Amaranth is being paid millions of dollars to stream on Kick. And then it's like, then the news just stopped because they stopped paying high profile streamers to stream there. And, it's just a very boring website. And watching Amaranth stream with like 2,000 viewers instead of like the 10,000 on Twitch is, I mean, that's why these things are difficult. It's why Mixer failed. Although Mixer had Microsoft money and not illegal not legal. Definitely legal, totally legit gambling money. Anyways, have a good night. Bye-bye.